On the Peninsula update, our top story is from Chennai, where a 16-year-old boy is battling for his life after he was shot at by an inspector during interrogation at a police station in the city. While the inspector concerned has been suspended, protests have now erupted demanding that he be dismissed. But the incident essentially raises several disturbing questions over the manner in which the police system deals with accused who are minors. Priyamvada got us this report.
Tamim Ansari went missing from his home on Tuesday morning. A day later, he lies in a critical condition in a hospital with a gunshot wound in his neck. The bullet was fired by Tamil Nadu Police Inspector Pushparaj, who took Tamim in for questioning in a theft case. That was in complete violation of the Juvenile Justice Act, which says a minor cannot be taken to a police station for questioning.
நேற்று காலைல 10 மணிக்கு கிளம்புனான் வீட்டை விட்டு நைட்டு வரல. எல்லாம் தேடி பார்த்தோம், ஒன்றும் தகவல் ஒன்றும் வரல. அவன் எங்கே இருக்கான்னு தெரியல. இன்னைக்கு காலைல 2:30 மணிக்கு வந்து இந்த கோவிலில் உண்டியல் உடச்சிட்டுன்னு கூட்டு போனதா சொல்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் என்ன உண்மைன்னு வரை எனக்கு இதுவரையும் தெரியல.
பிள்ளைக்கு எதனா ஒன்று ஆன்சர் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. எதனா ஒன்று ஆச்சுன்னா நாங்கள் கண்டிப்பாக இதை நாங்கள் விட மாட்டோம்.
Sources say the accused police inspector put his gun in the boy's mouth to intimidate him and accidentally pulled the trigger. Pushparaj has now been suspended and a case under section 338 has been registered against him for causing grievous injuries. However, he has not yet been arrested.
Preliminary inquiry, there is a prima facie for excess, police excess. I will recommend for detailed inquiry for collector and get orders for detailed inquiry. After detailed inquiry, I will recommend for penal action.
Meanwhile, activists are up in arms questioning how police could mete out such treatment to a minor.
Demanding exact action against the inspector, Mr. Pushparaj. They have to take stubborn action against him. Not such things should happen again in Tamil Nadu.
They should not be treating minor children as adults. So if adults themselves have a right to not to remain silent, and why should this boy be confessing something? Maybe he has done it, but then that's the way of the law to do it. So it cannot be violated at all. So there is something that's a gross, some trespassing that has happened, and I think all the police officers would need to be sensitized to every clause in the act, every clause in the rules that have been framed by the government.
Despite a strong Juvenile Justice Act, rules have been broken at the very doorstep of the law enforcing agency. This is a wake-up call to some police officials who often take law for granted. Priyamvada in Chennai for Headlines Today.
Joining us on the Peninsula update now is Isidore Phillips, chairperson of the Child Welfare Committee here in Hyderabad. Mr. Phillips, this kind of an incident is absolutely shocking because while the rules say that an accused who is a minor can be taken to a police station initially, under no circumstances the police really can interrogate him.
The police is supposed to do an initial inquiry, but with a lot of conditions. The conditions is that the child can never be fettered, no lockup. Even if they have to keep the child in the police station for some time, it has to be a place designated as a place of safety by the competent authority.
But are these kind of aberrations pretty commonplace in the Indian police system?
Yes, because Juvenile Justice Act, as it were, is when it came into force in 2000, we are talking about a comparatively newer act, a special legislation for children, whereas the police has been working on the criminal justice system. Here you have actually a juvenile justice system as a special system working for children. So police are straddling between two different systems. So sometimes what happens is, one, due to lack of knowledge, two, also lack of application of themselves, this kind of aberrations do happen.
Isidore Phillips, just stay on with us. Joining us now is C. Anjaney Reddy, former DGP of Andhra Pradesh. Mr. Reddy, would you say that this kind of an incident shows something is terribly wrong with our Indian policing system?
Yeah, generally these juveniles are to be interrogated generally by police officers, preferably police women officers. They need a different type of, handling. So if the incident, the way it has happened, obviously shows some kind of, non-professional approach to the whole thing.
The inspector has now been suspended. Mr. Reddy, do you think this kind of an action will send a strong message that these kind of strong arm tactics by the police force during interrogation will not be tolerated?
Already there are enough instructions. If it is true, whatever has happened is true, then there should be a preliminary inquiry, and then whatever departmental action should take, and it will happen. Generally, police are very, very strict in these matters.
Let's now get in a word from my colleague Premvada, who has been reporting on that story from Chennai. Premvada, you have been speaking to a lot of officers, both at the junior and the senior level. Do you get the sense what Mr. Reddy was just talking about, that lessons will be learnt by those in the Chennai police?
Well, I would say that the Juvenile Justice Board members here and child rights activists here have consistently been conducting workshops to sensitize the police officials on the Juvenile Justice Act. Despite that, these kind of incidents keep happening. This is probably has come out in the media because the boy suffered the bullet injury. But activists say that there are so many such instances where kids are picked up, interrogated. They should not be in the police station for more than an hour. As rightly pointed out by the activists here, they should have a separate area and there should be a woman officer and immediately taken to observation home. Most of the police officials do not follow that. They pick up kids 15, 16 years old, and these kind of incidents do happen. It's under the carpet. This incident has come out. I hope this is the wake-up call and strict action is taken, because we do see the tension here in Chennai, because protesters are now demanding that the inspector should be arrested, and now they've gone to the hospital to meet the boy. They just met the commissioner, Chennai police commissioner, demanding strict action and to ensure that these kind of incidents don't happen again.
Right. Mr. Anjaney Reddy, unofficial reports do suggest that the inspector who was doing this interrogation was trying something very filmy with the accused, which resulted in the revolver going off. Do you agree that the police at large do not quite really care whether the accused is a minor or an adult, or perhaps in some cases even a woman?
No, I don't think it is generally true, but it happens occasionally, and once in a while it can happen. But most important thing is it necessary every time a person is arrested and taken to the police station and interrogated? Why not they interrogate, why not they investigate the case first, before they arrest a person? The law permits, the moment a case is cognizable, he can be arrested. There is no need. That's why most people try to avoid the police. Police should be authorized to investigate cases. Arrest only with the permission of the senior officers. Every inspector, every sub-inspector being authorized to arrest people is leading to this kind of problems. While they should be authorized to investigate, powers of arrest should be vested in senior officers, and nothing should be done without the knowledge of the senior officers.
Okay, Mr. Reddy, so you say only senior officers should be authorized to carry out these kind of interrogation. Isidore Phillips, Premvada there mentioned about the sensitization workshops that are undertaken. You yourself undertake a lot of workshops for both law officers and police officers. Would you say that awareness is pretty low among the police officers, especially at the junior level? They really do not know how to take care of these kind of juvenile offenders or accused who are juveniles?
Yes. The awareness definitely is very, very low comparatively, and I think thanks to one such case in Delhi, a lot more police officers are talking about Juvenile Justice Act. But I think be it POXCO, that Prevention of Sexual Offences Against Children, or Juvenile Justice Act, the awareness among the police officers by and large is comparatively lower.
Mr. Anjaney Reddy, do you see this as a huge embarrassment and a wake-up call for the Chennai police?
Naturally, why it's a huge embarrassment for any police, and particularly when the boy is young, is a juvenile, then it's terrible embarrassment. And one incident like this can wipe out the goodwill they earn in a year.
Lastly, Premvada, you mentioned that the boy is still critical. He has undergone surgery. He may need some more surgeries. Is he getting the best medical attention possible there in Chennai?
yesterday. He's admitted in one of the best hospitals. Team of doctors are attending on him back to back. Remember, it's a very sensitive issue now that the protests are happening and police, the government wants to give proper treatment. One surgery has been conducted, but still boy continues to be critical because remember he was shot in the neck. So the doctors are suggesting one more surgery, but they are analyzing whether the boy will be able to bear one more surgery, and depending on that they might fix that surgery for either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Right, Premvada, thanks a lot for joining us there from Chennai. Also, thanks to Isidore Phillips and Mr. C. Anjani Reddy for giving us that perspective on this big story from Chennai.